Hey, old school gamers, welcome back to Grumpy Old GMs, where we help you tap into your inner greatest GM. And today we're going to do a couple things, two birds with one stone kind of a thing. And so we're going to continue our series of free reviews of free and pay what you want products. But we're also going to complete the other half of how I have put together games with 5 minutes notice with zero prep. So the previous video that I did talking about putting games together with absolutely zero prep, part of that equation, there's really two parts. The first part from the other video was that I just have a library in my head. And I kind of explained that, I'm 51 years old. I've been playing D&D for 40 years. And I've got modules memorized in my head, like B3 Palace of the Silver Princess, White Plume Mountain. I've just got, and Palace of the Silver Princess was one of the ones that was put in the red box set back in the 80s. Most people are familiar with Keep on the Borderlands that was put in the red box set back in the 80s, but towards the end of the red box set's life cycle in the stores, I guess TSR, the company that had D&D at the time, of course Wizards of the Coast has it these days, but the company that had D&D at the time, I guess they felt that there were just enough copies of Keep on the Borderlands out there. And so towards the end of the red box's cycle in the stores, B3 Palace of Silver Princess was put in there. It has actually got some introductory things to help introductory parties, get together at first level, people that have never played the game before and stuff like that. So in your library, in your head, you're going to want to have some beginner adventures for total noobs. You're going to want to have adventures for people who aren't total noobs if they want to start over a new campaign at first level. And you're going to want to have some good, medium, and higher level stuff in your head like White Plume Mountain. And I suggested that, you don't have to wait 40 years and game 40 years like I did, because I remember doing Palace of the Silver Princess for my friends in 6th grade. I remember doing White Plume Mountain for my friends in 7th grade, and I can do those by heart. I don't even need the books. But there are Adventure League modules, and these Adventure League modules are short. They're written for a variety of levels. Most of them are pretty good. I haven't really seen one that totally sucked. They're varying qualities, but some of them I really like. But if you could get a library in your head of, a good variety of adventures, just a few to kind of get a campaign started, get a campaign kicked off the ground. You don't have to know a campaign years and years in advance. These days, most campaigns don't last years and years. I talk to people all the time that actually say, like, I had no idea you could even game like that, like a campaign down through the years. Surveys and focus groups are showing that most people are not playing that way these days. They're not doing what we did back in the day, although I think they should, where you stick with the character as long as they stay alive, and that character eventually has kids, or becomes a king, or that character eventually, retires, like the Dread Pirate Roberts off an island off of Patagonia or something. It becomes this ongoing saga, almost multi-generational, like Star Trek had the Next Generation. You end up with the next generation of adventurers after your adventuring party gets old and stuff. Of course, maybe the elf is still around, because elves will live like 1,000 years. But yeah, most people are not doing campaigns. Most people, they might last a few months. A lot of people are just playing one story arc, and that's it. And then they want to start over. So I don't relate to that kind of play, but it's out there. And if that's what you want, that's what you want. Gary Gygax said there isn't a right or wrong way to play this game. I just prefer the long-term campaign. But if you don't have to plan that campaign far, far in advance. You don't. You just need to get it started the first few sessions. And then if it is going to be long, you can work on that as you go. Because players are not going to do, what you think they're going to do anyway. That hardly ever happens. So if you've got like a Rolodex in your head, like a quick set of memory files that you can access, and I would suggest investing in and just reading some Adventure League modules of varying levels. Get some Tier 1, get some Tier 2, get some Tier 3, find ones you like. They're only about 10 pages. Familiarize yourself with them. Just run them a few times. You'll probably memorize them. They're not that long. They're designed to go from 2 to 4 hours. So that's kind of almost repeating the last video, but I just really think that's so important. It's just key to have that library in your head. The other thing that we want to do, the other part of the formula to how I put together games in 5 minutes, is Owlbear Rodeo. Owlbear Rodeo is just, to me, it's, you know, it's the perfect VTT. Now, people, it's very stripped down, it's very simple, but that's what I want. And it's the only way you're going to get a game up in 5 minutes. In the fall of 2021, there was a group that they came to me as a group. There's like 6 people, and they all gamed together. They wanted to do Tomb of Annihilation, and they were really turned off at the idea of doing anything but Roll20. And so I thought, well, you know, see, the thing is, I was doing 15 to 16 games a week. And there's no way, Roll20 takes so much preparation. There's no way, like if I was a casual gamer still, and I was just doing it for my personal group of friends once a week, then maybe, yes, I could, you know, maybe I'd love Roll20 to death. Maybe I would. But that's not the world I live in. I live in a world where I've got to crank out, you know, 10 to 15 games a week. So these days it's closer to 10 though, thank God. But the Owlbear Rodeo is quick, easy, fast, and it works. And so but I did do Roll20 with this group because that's what they wanted. I told them that because it was going to take more prep time, I'd have to charge them more money. They said yes, and I thought, darn, they said yes, now I have to do it. So the experience with Roll20 was terrible, absolutely terrible. I kept getting lost, and so did the players. I kept getting lost in the layers. So many layers. Why does it need layers? Why does Roll20 have to be Photoshop? Why do we need all these layers? Why can't I just drag things around like I can on Owlbear Rodeo? It took an hour of the first night to hook up everybody's character sheets from D&D Beyond to Roll20, and then their group was not that stable. So every week there was like 1 or 2 new people replacing other people that had left. And I looked at my system tray, my Windows system tray at the bottom of my screen, and it took consistently between 30 and 33 minutes. I'm a nerd. I pay attention to numbers and stuff. It took consistently between 30 and 33 minutes of paid game time. It took them half an hour of time they were paying for just to bring new people up to speed on how to do Roll20 every session, week after week after week after week. And it was just, you know, abominable. So Owlbear Rodeo's quick, easy. And Owlbear Rodeo's coming along. They just added dice that roll across the screen. It's starting to look like a real VTT now. Now, full disclosure here, Owlbear Rodeo for the past, I'd say, couple of months has been super laggy. Okay, I want to be honest and real with you. I think they need more servers. I think they're growing faster than they expected. And I noticed the lag, especially during peak times. So if you had a game with me during the afternoon, it probably wouldn't happen. But if you had a game with me on a weekend night, Friday night, Saturday night, we're going to see some lag. And so I think what's happening is just like an MMO server, some kind of gaming server or something that's growing faster than the company expected. I think they're straining the systems, Cap'n. She can't take much more, said Scotty. But, that's going to come along. That's just kind of a growing pain of a new service or new company. It hasn't, tanked my business. I'm still using Owlbear Rodeo, but I want to be real with you people. And right now it is March 25th, is 2023 as I record this. So maybe by the time you listen to this, the problem will be much better. It'll probably be gone. But Owlbear Rodeo is just easy, quick. And it's at owlbear.app. So owlbear.app. And the free service will let you have up to 2 rooms of cloud space. And it's plenty if you're a casual DM. And you get all the features for free. That's why I think it qualifies as a free thing for me to review here. There's paid levels. I have a paid level because I have 10 rooms because I got to juggle these different campaigns. But I don't get any other features I just get more cloud space. So the reason I think this qualifies for our free review policy here on this channel is because you get all the features for free. If you want to pay, you just get bigger cloud space that you may need if you're a professional GM. But give Owlbear Rodeo a try. It's pretty cool. They have their own dice, which I didn't like quite as much as these. They have a DD Dice plugin at DD Dice. That's 3 Ds, dddice.com. They've got a plug-in there for Owlbear Rodeo these days so that you can actually get the dice rolling across the screen like we like in a more advanced VTT. So yeah, Owlbear Rodeo is growing up. It's coming of age. And it makes it possible for me to put together games in 5 minutes. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to with the Foundry or certainly not Roll20, especially not 10 to 15 games a week. So that's part of the magic of how I do what I do, and that is me recommending. Honestly, though, because right now they have some lag issues, but I think that's just because they're growing faster than they thought they would. Kind of the growing pains of a new service out there on the internet. But yeah, that's how I do it. That's part of my secret is Owlbear Rodeo, running 10 to 15 games a week so I can run professionally full time, pay my bills, and it's a free service. At least the up to 2 rooms of cloud space is free. So that's it. So we're hitting 11 minutes. I'm going to get out of here. But that's how I put together games in 5 minutes as a professional GM. So I'm going to give you some more tips soon in some new videos. If you'd like more than just general tips, though, if you want personal coaching, we do that on Patreon. There's a link to that down below. Of course, there's going to be a link to Owlbear Rodeo down below because we just reviewed it. And there's also our Discord, our schedule of games. About half of our tables are full right now as I record this, but half of our tables have room for people to play. And we still have Monday nights open if anybody wants to found a new table of something new. So in the meantime, I will see you around the gaming table.